includes deep cuts into. That is what I wanted to talk about. Those two.
Oh, that sucks. We're gonna have to obviously pay for Medicare and all that, you know, Obamacare, such and such. But we people on it pretty much have nothing on them, you know, like nothing protecting.
You
We're still
mistook
human beings.
You mistook my sarcasm as.
Oh.
The only thing like different in the Medicare and Medicaid was that they included deep cuts into the coverage plan.
Which sucks.
Well, yeah, it does, but you know, I understand Medicaid, like as a whole. I understand that it's needed. I wouldn't mind fronting to help pay for other people's chips, but those do anything to get out of those hardships, I do not agree with. And they get on this plan.
Well, it's always accessible.
Not always. You're misinterpreting it. Okay, so right now I'm in between jobs and I'm having a hard time getting a job. And it's not that I'm not trying. It's like you said, it's hard to find a job. And I understand that situation and about before. To say someone like my cousin, and with all confidence, because he doesn't try to get a job. The only thing he's done go through EMT training, and that nothing else. He hasn't applied for any. He hasn't applied for any medic or first. He hasn't done anything with that paramedic. Or that EMT degree, I guess you could call it. Uh-oh. 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 I'm gonna drown. I just got out of this flood in time. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but then there's the qualification, which means bye. Don't do anything stupid that'll get you killed. But yeah, I mean, difference. Yeah, I understand that. How are you gonna tell the difference?
There isn't, and I understand that there's not really to definitely point out someone who's not trying, someone who is. I get that you have to, where we have to draw the line, but it's still something to look into. With unemployment. So with unemployment, if I filed for it, I'd get right. But I wouldn't get benefit. Wasn't act jobs, all right? So I could apply for jobs, make it the crappiest like application ever, just half-ass it and everything. Which that's the minimal requirement. Minimal requirement is just to apply for jobs. In a review, there's no. They don't look over it. They just and. Honestly, if people actually to start getting a job, like there's a vet for people who get out of the military. And what they do is they go in and they review their they make full in. It's all appropriate. They help them make professional. And a lot of people don't want credit. They don't want their thing and say, oh well, this is wrong. And then some people just don't care enough to. They're on a pay. Someone's paying them to do nothing, and to say that's completely beyond abysmal. This guy just ran me over. Cool, you're awesome. Get that out of here.
But again, like I understand what you're saying. It's kind of hard to figure out who is that, and you're gonna have to micromanage all these people to cut their benefits because they're not doing anything.
A lot of people.
And you're gonna get complaints.
A lot need to be micromanaged. Okay, one of my friends that's moving down to OKC with us. She asked us to micromanage her. Some people don't trust themselves. To feel that they have control in their life. When you put help from somebody and you don't trust yourself. Yes, you should be micromanaged because you're doing something that's harming yourself. Go ahead.
But there's a case that can be micromanaged.
Yes.
Like, because then we're gonna have to dedicate more manpower, which the United States government doesn't have the best manpower as is. You're gonna have to dedicate even more to helping people, which is easy work.
Well, not exactly. It doesn't even have to be a what do you call it? A government program. It's something like the Red is funded by the world. Its sole purpose is to, you know, provide aid and help countries. And it's personally ran. Yes.
But we're talking about is a funded program, so we'll have to finding out who is doing this. So we could barely make a profit, you know, saving money on this program. Can barely spend any, you know, or see more money just to have fun.
Yeah. Well, you know how much it cost us in total to have someone on welfare on the program? It is, and I don't have numbers. I'll put in all the minutes that were stuff from the courses. We'll cite it, and I'll do that part of that. Sorry, I ain't on topic. But you know, there is a point where you gotta say, well, is it this or is it more efficient to do this? And that's something topic that we should. And I feel like both of these are valid arguments. You know,
they are. When it all comes down to it, like most debates are just walking in circles about what it. But
yeah,
my point of view is obviously correct. I do see some of your points correct too. I mean, you seem a little bit more of a thinker. A little like you understand the liberal side of things. Like you're not discrediting.
No, I believe.
Which I am glad. No, a lot of conservatives are like liberals suck, or you know, doesn't really make much sense. Because
I do
suck, but why?
I do agree with that.
Why?
But well,
they don't understand why. So it's like
let me talk.
Yeah. But let me say this too. Liberals do the same thing against conservatives. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
It's just a fight of just cat scratching.
Without a doubt. A lot of grown-ups can't. You know, a lot of grown people cannot talk in a civil manner, just such as we are right now. And that is just beyond them. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's beyond someone like that to talk in a professional manner. And all I'm saying is everybody has those people who fight that, and then they overshadow the people who are doing things correctly, be politically correct and be careful with their statements, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then also being politically correct can stop stuff from going on, arguments, and stop that kind of stuff from going. But you also have to remember though that when you can be politically correct, so it comes down to picking your people who you politics with equally. Like a good friend could be oh, I believe this. Why? I don't know. Yeah, that's not somebody to talk politics with, because you get their point of view. Yes. Do you get why? No.
I stated this in someone else's video, because you know I watch a lot of videos and I watch a lot of political commentary. I stated this, and it was a debate between it was a feminist and a feminist. One recently denounced their self-entitlement of feminism and was advocating for men's rights and political how women have a stranglehold on the court system, at least when it comes to child custody battles and stuff like that. And
what do you mean?
That's a different topic.
No, but saying this now that women win 90% of cases when it comes to a child.
They do. They have a stranglehold on it, but that's like I said, we're getting on top. I'm bringing this up as of this person was not being the person she was fighting against, telling that, you know, she was advocating for the and this guy saying, well, no, that's retarded, no, that's stupid. It was his only argument, and his evidence behind the argument was, I feel this way, I feel that way, and that's a ridiculous thing. That's not the way someone should conduct themselves. This right here is how an argument should, or a debate, not an argument, should go. And we're not doing it perfectly, but I've seen so many cases where people just outright discredit people just because they because they, you know, they put their views ahead of facts.
Well, and that's how society grows. As a, like, our society has grown from more feel, which in some regards of like human rights and that I completely agree with.
Without a doubt.
When you forget facts, that's when feeling becomes dangerous. Feelings are one of our most powerful thoughts. It's what we do. How we feel is how we do.
You're right. You shouldn't detach yourself from. You shouldn't get rid of that passion document, and you're certainly correct, because you should let your passion dictate how much you look into it. Like how much you research, and you wanna back your science with fact, because if you don't have that, your argument's just a weapon. Feelings are just a weapon. And that's not how you build up a society. Yes, that nukes have nothing on people's feelings and opinions. And I mean that with all seriousness.
But there's some arguments for feelings that come in place, such as like gay rights or something like that. There's no facts behind it, but that's where feelings come to play. Like, this is morally correct in my point of view.
You're mishearing me. Okay.
I know. But I'm
not discrediting.
Like, yeah, I know. I'm just explaining that there is some in most instances that it's wrong just to go off feelings by itself. But there are still some exceptions, like in most things in real life, where it's the proper way to do things. But the
point is where you draw that line. Because I'm gonna point out a couple of events. The Berkeley riots. The facts stated the incident that caused it was completely legal. It was in their legal right. It was just a bad instance. And then people let their feelings. No, I'm not saying anything bad about anyone. It's just people let their feelings get the best of them, and it caused so much devastation than just one life. You know, that people lost livelihoods. They lost businesses. This feeling was their main driving point. No, I'm not saying that you should discredit. I'm not saying that you should throw out your feelings at all, because you should definitely have your feelings in place. And like I said, that's because it gives you drive. It gives you passion, something to talk about.
Well, but here is what I boil it down to. So feeling is core to your argument. That's you. Think of it as like an army, for example. The core is infantry. They're very important, but you can't win a battle with just infantry. You're gonna need attack heli support. You're gonna need tank, armor, etc.
I got out.
Like,
sorry.
You're gonna need. Yeah, that's alright. You just need. That's what the factors are to an argument. Core is just how you feel about the subject. Well, you need something to support it, so it becomes a liable argument. So you use the facts, and that's what makes a full argument.
I get it. And we're telling each other thing. We both
Yeah,
agree
no,
that.
I'm just built. Oh God, that's 2 Abrams. But yeah, that's the best way to. I'm just solidifying. This is how I debate, solidify things if we both agree on it.
Obviously, that's a good point to make, and I actually didn't need to think about that. It actually makes sense to solidify. I'm repeating things. I'm sorry. I'm off my meds. Yes, I totally agree that you should solidify, and I realize that's what.
No, I was just solidifying the point that we had. Like, you know.
Oh, I get it now. I'm saying
Not the solidifying the idea, solidifying the point that we both adding details to see whether agree with what I'm saying. But
okay.
alright, let's get to a new topic. Like,
So,
if you really feel like it, we could talk about Bill Cosby's trial.
mistrials?
He had a mistrial, so
This is
they
new.
got
This is new.
yeah. Do you guess? Do you know what it all means?
I know what a mistrial is. I did not hear about his
Yeah.
trial. He had a trial. That's
For
what I'm
his
saying.
sexual
Oh,
harassment.
the ladies that came up against him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a mistrial.
So, sorry, I'm grossly misinformed. Mistrial.
Mistrial. So that means somebody did something wrong in the house.
And they threw out
So,
the
like,
case. So
They threw out the case. They either could say
Skip
that they
that
the trial, or they don't bring it up. It begs the argument, like, was it intentional? I think it might. You know, he's an 8-year-old guy, I'm guessing, but I cannot stand for crimes like that. It's morally.
those crimes were not ever solidified with evidence, were they?
No, there was solidified evidence. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone to trial.
But not that. No, I mean, but not that many. There wasn't that much evidence against him for that many cases, at least. Because whether it happened or not, I do feel the responsibility on the victims to come out sooner. Because as far as I know, when I first heard about those women coming out, some had waited years upon years, and that's suspicious. I mean, saying that I don't believe them.
Really.
Listen. This kind of thing before, and it is suspicious because yeah, they do feel bad that it happened to them, and yeah, some can feel like their fault, but it's not. Well, she can wait as long as she wants to this charge against this guy. There's the law that, and remember it, but it's a law that states that if past a certain amount of years, something becomes not valid. Correct?
There is.
But why risk that? It's of a prominent figure in society. It's his name, or it's more of a fact of saying that they didn't. It's of a
wide.
Yeah, why did this cases just come out all the time? It's just, I get the confidence ruling. I guess is what they called it. One came out, and so got the confidence. That's a lot to be saying. You know, yeah. Go ahead. I'm talking.
Okay. This is that they all came out around the same time. Sexual abuse charge, being sexual abuse, such as that, and a giant amount of shame for multitude of reasons. Well, they probably didn't want to, you know, bring it back, or they didn't want to know the shame, you know, of, you know, people just going like, why'd you let them do that to you, or etc. Another thing I find that could be, this isn't a true fact, it isn't, it could be, but rich celebrities have a lot of power and money. So, if one person leading to charge Cosby, or any other such celebrity, they probably wouldn't have gotten very far, because they're the lawyers, while they probably afford.
I'm gonna hold you right. And this is, I'm not trying to, you know, talk down to you. It's just with Kate, if it's that he did it and she had evidence to prove it, it doesn't matter how many lawyers he had. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it really does not. I'm gonna say this from a legal point. I have family well, I have family members. That's a bias, but I have family members that are lawyers, and when it comes down to it, to defense, the most they want to do is get them the sentence for the crime that was clearly committed. So it shouldn't be that hard to it did happen, and there is evidence behind it. Be that hard to win a case by yourself.
But defense lawyers on that high of a scale, especially numbers of lawyers, their job isn't just to stop the accuser's point and get the minimal charge. Their job.
I'm sorry.
Prosecution. The prosecution, yes. I always forget that word. But they always try to discredit the prosecution. That many, they could probably find something to discredit the person. So, a multitude of people
could be said
of that same person.
Same could be that. Well, once you get into that area, and
yeah,
I agree that, but what's disproving or proving their side? I mean, they're
hold on.
Yeah, what's up?
When it comes to like a prosecutor, they're not doing it in the way of slanderizing them. Is they're going to look through all jurors and what was said, what was written down, recorded throughout the entire case, and they're going to look for anything that an outlier, like, okay, he wasn't read his Miranda, he was arrested, he wasn't given a lawyer right away. Those little things, they're not going after him saying, well, lawyer is an asshole, you know, this case should be thrown out. It's he didn't do this properly, and it's not saying that they're lawyer, it's just looking at any little thing that process that forgotten to do, they messed up at some point. There are some cases where they worded things the wrong way on their when they're arrested and stuff like that, like information that's written down wrong. It is at the fault of the officer or whatever the case may be, but they may not have done it on purpose or something like that. Because a lot of times when you have cases, a lot of them are soundproof. You know, this is, you can clearly tell that they did this, but the legal part of it, they didn't follow procedure correctly or didn't get everything written down in the right way. That can completely throw out a case. We have with judicial property, where you can't be tried a second time for the same crime. So that was like the OJ case. Everybody knew he did it, but who went through the legal process with charging him and gathering evidence with him, they didn't do it the right way, so it got dismissed. And when it got dismissed, that law that we have, he cannot be tried a second time for it. Now there can be a civil suit, but that's rare. So yeah.
Well, we're talking about the Bill Cosby being dismissed through
Yeah, that's just a clusterfuck of misinformation and stuff like that.
And
Yeah, which makes, like, I personally wish he could be put through the same trial again, but he can't.
Yep.
So it comes to that. It's like, really, it's obvious he did it. You know.
well, it's like I said, it's not obvious because it's so hard to what actually happened in a rape because there's so little evidence, especially after that many years of holding back.
That is true.
It's time to report. Do a rapist charge. A rape is at the time, not after. Well, obviously after, but it's not 2 weeks after because then your evidence goes away, so to speak.
It's basically this person's word against that person's word.
Yeah, that's what it's all boiled down to.
But in the big trial, there was a current witness, current defendant, and a prosecutor. He said, yes, he did do this to me, and then there was evidence given through that. Then older victims started piling in information too about their previous rapes. That I'm doing quotation marks because I'm not going to say anything because it was mistrial.
Okay,
but
so you're saying that there was one for sure recent occurrence or incident, and
yes,
okay, that's one. I'm about the ones that were later. I have no trial. It's just them backing the words of one person, and it.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. And then if there's given enough evidence that it makes sense, given to the police that, oh, this makes sense, I think this may be true, and goes along with this story, it goes with that. That could be prosecuted for the same charge.
But also, I'm gonna bring this is just because I want more to talk about than just the trial itself. I want to.
Okay, I see.
Our little conversation here. And when it comes of rape and sexual assault, it's widely women hold, just like with the court cases about child custody and all that. Women hold a stranglehold. Do you guys agree with that?
No.
Or don't? Comments?
I can see to an extent, not 100%, but to an extent, yes, they do have an up.
I know somebody who, for a fact, was accused of raping his ex-girlfriend, who I know could never do it for certain explicit reasons I am not allowed to share. He couldn't have. He wouldn't have. So, and he went to the trial. He's still going through it to this day. And he is, by far, given evidence of her faking it is continuously arising through text messages and such. And it's not like she's not gonna win. It's prevalent. And he's obviously gonna
that's
win.
Because he has so much evidence against.
Yeah, he has proof though. When majority of the cases that we're talking about is
very, very little.
This chick, it's basically off of he said, she said. If he has no physical evidence against it, it is very likely that the court will side with the woman, even if she doesn't have hard evidence.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if he have proof, I mean, facts will always win. Or not facts, evidence. Sorry, evidence will always win. But when it comes down to he said, she said, with pretty much anything, more than likely is going to win.
Yeah, I do not know the statistics on that, but
neither do I. But I'll post them if you guys want to have a look at them. I'll do a little more research.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on the case, honestly. Like, if there's evidence. Obviously, there's a lot of cases where it's been done properly, like the jury didn't look at the information correct, or the jury is biased for some. But yeah, I can see what you mean. People see women can see women as you know, these
Hold on.
fragile things. But he doesn't have a mic. So,
He doesn't?
no, he doesn't. So, I can see where they're going at, but the real thing is that women can defend themselves, but there's also to an extent where they can't. So people feel sorry for the women, and I'm saying this as a person who lives with his mother and, you know, such.
Yeah.
My mom's a complete badass. And yeah, I can see where they're coming from, but they also have to remember that women can't themselves at certain time.
Yeah, what we're saying is these cases, and there's a lot of women will come out after said they just lied about it. And that's a lot of this the time. I mean, it's big, and it's more and more with the feminine rights movement. I'm not discrediting them, but you know, there's what do you call it?
Put this on invite.
Yeah.
So we don't flying in.
There's no.
Before we start, Archer, I won't be here tonight,
Okay.
so I'd let you know.
Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So, but yeah, you're good. I'm back
Yeah, I'll be
now.
the only
So
one here.
Okay.
But the reason why I brought it up to jury and all is because the only way we are really gonna fix it is if maneuvers. A, we find a way to discredit the trial before it even goes out, which likely. There's a do it if we have the jury do it straight off alone and not this person says they got raped.
Exactly. Exactly.
But-
I was just to say that has its downsides. You know, downside is it actually proof, which yeah, but side it prevents any, you know, because
False.
I think that I think to do that to where they're charging people for misaccusations, which is
Yes.
good. You know, there
Yeah.
has been women in the past year or so that have been charged for falsely accusing them of rape, and I think that's because I mean years ago. I mean, if they accused, it was bad. You know, they didn't really need much of anything, but they're starting
yeah.
to get there where.
And back to when they accuse, even if they accuse and the guy wins, this point was brought up a lot in the that I watch, and I agree with it. Destroys the guy's life. I mean, no way
Oh,
to
yeah.
trust, and
with
it can ruin people's lives.
no, he can't really talk about the case with a lot of people. You know, so given the relationship that we're both, he's able to tell me, but he can't hang out with a lot of people anymore. Given that I forget what they did, but they made it so he can't talk anymore or something like that. People don't even know that the allegations are against him. Or, you know, he's not even in a trial. Because he can't really talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And this
see,
is ruining his life. On several different... I've had to help him through this little spurt of depression that he's had.
and it's ridiculous, and that's outrageous that could just happen without any proof that these people did what they did. These people and other people just judge him. Their judgment within it so harshly. And I think that's more of a the public needs to work on, not the court system. But no, the public's hard to.
It is. It's a mob.
Oh
Hard to
yeah.
please a mob. Oh, it always is.
Like most of the riots you see on TV, man, it's literally a mob. That's all it is. But you know, it's ridiculous. I point out. Would you guys like to move another topic to stay on this one? Just to keep the variety.
Let me put a dip in real quick, and we can move on to another topic.
Actually, I might go make me a sandwich or something first.
Alrighty. Well, me and Archer can
That'll
talk.
give me a good 10 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, don't start a new topic without me. I want to be here.
We'll bring it back up for you, and I'll catch you up.
But think of the viewers. They're gonna be like, I want to hear this guy's perspective.
We will.
Think of the viewers.
We'll
We
give
can
you
take like a
perspective.
10-minute intermission. No.
Intermission. All right. Well, we'll talk about a different subject, not relating to
Or even. I
the
might be
theme
able
at hand.
to come and talk when I make my food. Who knows? We'll see in a second. I have to clean the
Cut now.
Damn.
It's not cutting out for me.
It might just be my internet. But
I have to clean. Yeah, just do a topic without me. I'll be back.
alrighty. But just to fill you in what we talked about before you hopped in there, we decided to do a test run just to see how it would go and just start talking for a little bit while, and it kind of devolved from Medicare to the Bill Cosby trials, and that's what you hopped in. So with the Medicare, we were talking about the program, and I'm bringing this up, but it was still the theme of it. And that's government-funded healthcare to people who don't have the luxury of having insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's called. I didn't know if it was Medicare or not. I said I'm
Medicare,
grossly
Medicaid, same thing.
Yeah, I'm grossly misinformed about a lot of things. But what we debated for a long about that.
So
Go ahead.
my perspective on it is you look at Obamacare, stuff like that. It's government-assisted Medicaid that anybody would go through, all setting laws saying, hey, you must have life insurance and stuff like that, health insurance. I believe that it shouldn't be a law to have that health insurance. You know, it'd kind of screw you over if you did, or something happened. But then again, you know, that's a little much government interference and, you know, economic stances. Hold on.
We'll take a break for it.
Right.
Let Duck Laser die over here.
Yeah. Anyways, when it comes to government assistance, like having Medicare, Medicaid through the government, I don't think they should do it to an extent. What I think is taxes that we pay that go to the medical assistant for people that are off point, are either unemployed, you know, so leave, or you know, you make under a certain amount a year. That's the bracket that you should have for when it comes to medical assistance. Everything over that should disqualify you from any sort of government intervention with that medical stuff. I think the taxpayers are paying too much for people who aren't giving back into the not just the community, but the economy itself. A lot of these government systems, like food stamps, stuff like that, I think being given too freely, it's getting larger and larger to pay, and interners themselves are paying more money who, in many cases, don't even need that assistance. I think it should be harder to get that assistance. And it harder in the fact that there's a small qualifier. That's the people that actually need it. Just people that are, you know, have a job, you know, are able to buy food, you know, able to have that basic living. They shouldn't be mooching off the government.
Exactly.
And I think there may be a percent it would affect, but at the end of the day, it's cutting taxes off the taxpayers' bill at the end of the more money for them to put back into the economy to stimulate that economy. You know, and it's not just that. I mean, that's across the board, except for military. That's a whole different issue. But you want to look at like Bernie Sanders was doing free college and stuff like that. That college isn't even free.
Oh, it's
right
it's
there.
gonna cost
Tuition
a lot.
is going. Yeah.
Like,
Tuition is gonna of the normal people who some of them may not even be going to college. Why should I pay for college if I'm not even gonna?
Yeah. And we conversation with my fiance's he's a rich man. He pays a lot in taxes, and that alone he pays quadruple what I would make in a day or in a year in taxes. And I think that's outrageous just because he's a good man for that money. And to say that he owes that to people who don't do anything and did nothing in their lives and just sit in one place. We have a boss where I work. I said it in the beginning, but I'm going to cut that out. But I have a boss where I work, and she relies on a lot of government aid, and she make $15 an hour. $15 an hour. That's what an emergency service person would make, and you don't see them for more money, or they don't require more funding, and they're not on funding. They're not on government funding. They're on state, but that's it, because that's their job. They're a state employee, and it's outrageous to think that someone should have to pay for your college just because you're you.
And that goes, talking about taxes in general. A lot of people say, especially people on the left side, it's more about like, tax the rich. They should be paying more. Not really, no. I mean, some I will admit, some people were born into money. They didn't really have it. But somewhere in their line, somebody busted ass and made that money. Regardless of how they did it, somebody made a lot of money and set their family up. That doesn't give the normal person food stamps and stuff like that. That doesn't give them the right to say, I'm entitled to some of that money. They did not earn any of that money. Now, what people seem to forget is a lot of those rich people that everybody's taxing and taking money from them. Those people are the ones that are researching our cancer treatments, like AIDS, diabetes, stuff like that. They're the big ticket suppliers of money that goes to patients, that gets the drug. It's not like they're, I mean, I'm sure there's some out there that don't give to any sort of fundraisers or nonprofits or anything like that. Or there's some people that don't. But, you look at a lot of the big actors and stuff like that, especially, like Bill. How much money they give on a year to all these research foundations, it's ridiculous. They're already given. I mean, Bill Gates will give me tens of millions of dollars a year for research and stuff.
And to say that they misuse their money, like I said, my future dad, he doesn't donate to companies or a lot of foundations, but he does the best he can to make sure his newborn daughter, has the best education that she can possibly. And it's an equally admirable feat. Not a lot of people who have that kind of money care. I say they don't care. I do, but they think of it that way. I think everyone can that noble of a deed.
We, as a nation, need to get out of the idea that we are entitled to things that we do not earn.
Yes.
Now, not just things of monetary value. I'm talking about respect. I'm talking about rights. You can't. We peasants have certain inalienable rights.
Yes.
But are past the point of rights. I was talking about this the other day. Not my mom, my grandma. At laws that are being passed currently, and even some of the larger ones, but a lot of the smaller ones. The majority of the laws nowadays, or construct rather than a basic physical need. You look at laws that were passed and stuff like that back in the day with our founding fathers. Those are stuff those are things that to be in a government. Majority of the stuff that we're talking about now is just more thing, not necessarily thing.
Yes.
You need to back up. Go ahead.
Get that in the sense that we a lot of self-loathing is what we'll call it here. We do a lot of self-loathing, and it's if you look at Christianity, and I'm not a religious person myself, but they do hold moral standards that a lot of people should at least, because with Christianity you have what is called pride, and when you have too much of it, it's a bad thing, and too much of anything is a bad thing. And nowadays a lot of people don't feel like they have, so they don't feel like they have enough. They demand more. They demand that kind of respect, and you demand, you people to not your feelings. They're gonna do it either way, whether they know it or not. Because I had a lady, a customer that I dealt with, and what she did, I called her because she, on the outside, her was a lady, and she told me that I this is baffling to me because I live in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is known for its gender politics, and we're not forerunners in the political correctness.
Yeah, I got you. It's not a norm thing.
Yeah,
I got you.
But it was just baffling to me because Southerners, and this is just a stereotype, but it's a truth that I'm getting off topic. Anyways, the story goes that she tells me that I misgendered her, and being who I am, I grew up respecting people, and I'm sorry. What would you like me to call you? And she said there. And when you demand something that outrageous for someone to you, that listen, I'm not gonna do it because you told me to. I was trying to be, but give me your name. That's what I was expecting something else. But when she expects me to call her something so out of the norm that you wonder where these people came up with these titles, these pronouns, or whatever you call them. But okay, is that you, Fuzzy?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. We got on the.
We got way off track. What did we fucking start off with?
Medicare. Yeah.
Medicare.
Yeah. I tried to get his opinion.
Pronouns.
Well, we were talking about self-entitlement, but how a lot of our culture is based off of that, and that was the side I was trying to argue with you on Medicare. It's just the fact that people feel entitled to government. They don't need it. They people minimum wage jobs. Rely on the government. Insurance and for food stamps. I mean, the only program I even remotely agree with is WIC, and that's only because it's helped out my family, and I've seen it help out a lot of families, and it's a great program. But
sorry,
go ahead.
Backtracking off a little bit. Before you started with the pronoun story, you said that people have a lot of pride. So are you getting that confused with the LGBTQ plus sexual revolution?
I don't think that's what he meant, because I picked up pride too. I just didn't.
I didn't get that out of the way, because I know some people would be like, he means that pride. No.
I know what he meant. He just didn't say the right word. It's
I meant
I would almost say more more of humility, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, no, I did the way. I know some people could have been like, oh, you're on this topic, word pride. So what if they two and two together where they shouldn't have been put together?
It happens a lot.
So it's like,
thank you for pointing that out.
No, and honestly, I hate when people say, oh, got rid of pride. Well, pride is just a loving way to express yourself.
Sometimes,
you don't need to be a part of it. Yeah, that is
It
true.
depends.
And
it depends. There's a lot of misconstrued points when it comes to I'm proud about this or I'm proud about that, and to the extent that they take that prideness.
I want to state this for future discussions. When I say pride, I don't mean gay pride I meant the dictionary definition of pride being the I can't tell you off the top of my head. But
so
I mean in the sense that like pointing out I'm an Eagle Scout. I say that a lot, and I have a lot. It's just when it gets too, it's still called pride. You like he said, it's what'd you say it was? I'm sorry, I'm freaking
humility.
cold.
Lack of humility.
Yes.
It's I do think that's a big, because that would greatly help with that whole situation if the fact of people don't step back and say, that wasn't really cool.
Yes.
People don't do that anymore. They don't think.
Just say, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I identify as they and him. You know, like just say nicely and just say how you
be polite
just
about
mislabeled me. You assume my gender. You say that as a joke, but like,
that's all it is a joke. And I'm saying that. Go ahead.
Sorry. Well,
no, you could.
The proper way to do that, like say, oh, I don't know, like say, oh, you know, if I was out in public, I would say, oh, you know, you're so nice, your girlfriend would be happy. I said, I'm not gonna say, did you just sexuality? No, I'm gonna say, oh no, sorry, I do not have a girlfriend, but I may have, assuming that I have a boyfriend. You shouldn't be like, either like, oh, you know, he's still lucky either way, or like, whatever the answer. You just gotta come at it in a friendly manner. I think, but you're telling what people what to do, and that's going to be kind of difficult because people are people.
Yeah.
But that's what I believe would be the proper way to do that. And my phone in the oven, so I'll be right back.
But he helps it just for the part I say.
Actually, no. No, yeah, no.
But what you're saying, you know, it's not a fact of, you know, we can't call you that, or that's just too ridiculous to call you that. The fact that some people go out of their way to point it out to someone, especially the server industry, because in that industry it's more of a matter of, oh, I'm being polite to everyone the same, and you go out, oh, you're pointing me out, not saying my gender right or my pronoun right, and it's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say, because you know, it's not their job to know what you are, or know what your sexuality is, or it's not their job. It's their job to deliver you great service. I got to say, it's Southern hospitality. They gotta be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that Northerners don't have hospitality. I'm just making it.
No, I know what you mean, but it's a saying, Southern hospitality. Like, you mean anything against it? Like, Southerners don't have it. I mean, it's just that it's a thing.
It's a difference of culture. That's all it is.
Oh, here we're known for being too nice. Okay?
Well, no,
like Minnesota nice.
Okay, so
but
in a view of comparing cultures, I've been up north, and I've been up to Minnesota and all that, and it's a different kind of politeness, and it's more of a fact of, well, you kind of standoffish, and you're very hard-headed. And I'm gonna say that with all confidence.
Up here, no, Well,
Yes, yes, you guys are very hard-headed, very set. There are some that way too, but and I'm not saying that's rude. It's just different. It's a culture shock for most Southerners.
I feel like up here we're very nice and chill, but I think that just because you may think that due to culture changes, and I may think my culture changes.
You also need to understand, Fuzzy's Northerner isn't as live Northerner. You know, I mean, I'm a Texan. Agrees, I'm a Texan, but at the same time, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. The New England Northerner is very different, like the Midwestern Northerner.
Yeah.
It's the rudeness that you're talking about. That's like Pennsylvania and up, like especially in like New York, New Jersey, stuff like that.
I might have thought of the wrong thing.
Yeah, Midwestern nice, like North nice. That's the kind of niceness that with. Oh, hun, are you the kind of nice, like stereotypical? Honey.
Yeah, I got you. But I meant a different demographic.
Yeah. Like we say sorry a lot. As a community, we say sorry a lot. We don't even know sorry. We don't. Say
I do
sorry.
that too.
Well, some people say sorry, but
sorry.
We say sorry.
I say it way too much too.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing or rude, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just how you're grown, given your area, like your stereotype.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, like I said, it's off the top of my I don't really have a script, and I don't know without that. But yes, I totally agree that I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Different areas have different ways of acting.
Yes. Sorry,
like how
I got lost.
Floridians can have an alligator.
Don't get me started on don't get me started on Florida.
Floridians, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of cool in the United States. It's that the continent is so big that there's different accents and different things to go to.
Oh yeah.
Like here, we don't like the only way you really, or if you live out in the country. Down there in Texas, it's an active, vibrant culture, you know. Also, kind of the same with food. Up here, our food is very heavy.
I believe,
like it.
Go ahead.
Our food up here is like hot dish casserole. The tater tot casserole is very heavy. It's it's just bake. You take it out. It's filled with carbs, fat, and protein. Even loaded with even more carbs. So, well, down there, it's more TaLkin to kind of stay more, more leaner food. While up here, we're very known for having our very big ensemble dinners. So it's just a different area. So different cultures have settled there. And
so I'd just like to say that we've made a transition from pronouns to food.
Well, okay. Anything that you should know about me?
I doubt anybody doesn't.
Oh, Archer, I need to send you this steak I had actually earlier. You might think it'd be a little too rare, but it was just perfect.
It might go bad by the time it gets to him.
Rare. Somebody invite Schweeter, please.
You want his opinion?
I'm currently in combat.
I guess we can get Schweeter in here. He'll have to behave himself.
Yeah, just let him know what we're doing.
I don't have him at.
I will. I just love saying that name. Oh, actually, he's on if I still find on his back. Come on.
Yeah. Alright, Schweeter. Nothing inappropriate till after time.
Oh yeah, we're doing debates right now. We're streaming political debates. But let's
I got you half of a PT pack. You gotta say.
I don't give gifts.
Happy birthday. That's about it.
Straight savage. Straight savage.
I let you in. That's good enough.
Oh damn. Damn.
Oh shit.
Well, I'm sorry. Someone has to keep me on track. Like I said, I haven't had
thinking about how we got pronouns. How I love food, and I'm trying to send a picture to Archer of how my
Still in
solo-
combat, so you're gonna have to.
Yeah, no, it's not sending, so I'm gonna send that.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting Wildlands so we can play. But someone need help. Anyways,
What?
let's get
What?
to this. Let's get to this political debate.
Oh,
Let's
they're
start
on
with a new
Wildlands.
topic.
I'm actually down for that. All right, let me go to my big book of topics. Well,
big book
y'all
of
talk
grudges.
amongst yourself.
No, that's a thing from a game called Total War.
Yeah,
Warhammer kind of. Oh, you know?
Yes, I know. I know about the big book
Oh.
of grudges.
Who wrote the big book of grudges?
I don't know who wrote it, but I know about it.
The race. Do you know the race that wrote the big book of grudges?
Humans.
Orc.
No, the dwarves.
No. Cool.
Muff.
Oh, he doesn't like he doesn't like them.
Oh, okay.
like the
So
dwarves.
let's talk about
Ooh.
this release about the new avatars that you're allowed to make. And how do you think those will? Have you guys seen that video?
I don't know. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know.
Okay, so I gotta look it up, but I'll send it to you guys, the name of it, or I'll tell you guys. Xbox Live just really the last E3 convention they held. They released new avatars that you can make. And basically it's disabilities, avatars with disabilities. And
Wait,
it's
what the hell?
New
Okay.
Xbox avatars is what it's called. It's the second
Okay,
video.
like I haven't seen
Well-
the video, but I don't mind. It doesn't really hurt the public that they
Yeah.
release.
No, it
those,
doesn't.
As long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
It
Well,
doesn't.
it's a chance
can-
for disabled players. You know, they could feel more welcomed. I guess, like, because you know, let's say there's someone in a wheelchair. You know, you have a standing avatar. You know, that might be a little offensive. You know, so they can have one in a wheelchair, or
Hey,
there could be
okay,
one with
Fuzzy, let's not
No.
laugh. Okay,
No.
with
Sorry.
like, you know,
he's making a good point.
He is.
I'm not trying to sound bad in this way, but if there's
No,
someone
you're
with
not.
Down syndrome that plays Xbox, that's capable to play Xbox, then there could be an avatar with Down syndrome. I don't know how that would look
Yeah.
like, but
It's more of the physical disability, not
Yeah, it's
the
kinda,
mental.
No,
Oh.
no, I wasn't laughing at the person with the wheel. Well, I just found it amusing. I'm sorry, but I just
If
I don't want
but
irony. But then
I
you
am,
also
I
have to
am gonna
remember,
say this. I am gonna say this. If you do have to laugh any time after this,
your mic.
Mute your mic. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But go ahead.
sorry. But also another thing that I have found is that avatars aren't really prevalent anymore.
They are.
yeah.
Except for
normally-
Milsim.
Yeah.
Really, Milsim?
Yeah,
Well,
they all
Milsim,
like,
Milsim guys are enjoying like how my avatar is.
Oh, that is true.
yeah. I took my Navy one off because I don't want to go Navy. So, you know.
I mean, I have this amazing looking otter.
Yeah.
This guy's name. This guy. Hold on. I'm sorry. This guy's name in this is Goose Steppin.
Who's stepping?
Goose
And
Steppin.
what?
Geese.
Alright.
And what?
Back to
Your live
in
stream?
Battlefield. Battlefield.
Yeah.
I got
just saying,
0 people
are
watching my
assholes.
live stream. Yes, they are. Back to the topic at hand. Avatars.
Yeah, I mean,
Not the
it
last
isn't
thing.
really much.
It's
Isn't really
not.
much. Like,
But I have
don't
a feel.
know.
I have a feeling that it will cause a lot of misrepresentation. You know.
don't think so.
If that's if avatars become more prevalent. If it does, then say I mean it'll give me the ability to give my guy a wheelchair or a missing leg or arm. Yeah, that aesthetic-wise it's pleasing, but you know when you're messing with people's, like when they talk to you, they like I try to be as inclusive as possible, and whenever I talk to people, I try to clear disabilities, you know, bringing them up, stuff like and it make me very paranoid, and you know I'm less likely to talk to someone who has a disability than who does, and that's not a go at their disability. It's just the fact that I don't want to be politically correct all the time.
Yeah, and
Well,
there's also like a.
Hold on.
You go ahead.
no, I was just gonna applaud you for openly admitting that. Not a lot of people are openly admitting to that.
Well, there's also like a down effect about it. Like let's say, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get you know, blown off leg. That's what we do. I want my avatar to have blown off leg. You could be talking to and let's say you put that as your profile pic, okay? You know, you have the blown off leg. You can be talking to maybe a veteran that's actually had his leg blown off, and maybe he can ask you, hey man, were you in the war too? Then the person's like, no, I just wanted one. I just wanted one as my profile pic. Yeah.
It's more, so basically what you're saying is that people can take a lot of offense to it as they have the disabilities.
Yeah.
I could see, yeah, I could see, and kind of going off that same point though, is like people thinking it's funny to have something like that, so that they add that character. Like, oh, look at me, I'm in a wheelchair or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They call me Wheels. Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
But
and
yeah,
that would just offend someone.
I don't think in that term very much. So I didn't think that could be a problem. I mean, it could be, but as long as the avatar isn't really mainstream, as I mean it is in Belgium apparently. I don't see it being a massive issue still, but I can still see it happening.
That's why I like bringing this stuff up. And that's why I actually wanted to start this shit, because a lot of people don't. They think one way, and they think that, you know, I'm not saying that way that you think, because you know you should be open to other ideas. Your ideas should be challenged. That's what helps you formulate better arguments, better opinions, and that's how you move forward.
Yeah, no, it's not
should be
open
challenged.
Oh
no, I'm not
more
saying that
like
you're not.
I've grown up. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I've been growing up to see the best in people. Though I know that's foolish thinking at times, but it's something I like doing because it makes me feel happy to know that there are other good people out there that aren't gonna just be douche nuggets about it.
It makes you feel safer in your air, like.
Not when I'm
I
walking
think,
around. It's more like
I think the same
I'm
way.
not scared of physical threats, more or less. Like,
No. I mean, in a sense that you feel more in control around your surroundings for believing the way you do. And everybody, there's good in everybody, but I also believe that there's bad in everybody, and you should always have that just to keep you humble, you know. You should have it to keep you in check, because a lot of people who are very proud of themselves and very who think, oh, I'm the best, I'm awesome, and peace, love, and happiness, and then it gets a little arrogant and people for it, because people will get jealous.
In a sense, like in the App Store sometimes, because I just stick to myself, because the way I am. I like because I'm such in my school, because of what I do. Let's say, you know, core values. I believe in extreme right side, conservative, and everybody at my school is fucking liberals. And fuzzy.
If you're gonna this is easy. This is my stream. But
I know.
When you refer to them as liberals, to just refer to them as liberals, nothing else. in front of
Liberals.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a bunch of liberals at my school. Okay. And I'm always acting innocent. Okay. I always act like, you know, like I'm just to myself. You know, I don't do anything bad. And I'm not really stupid like a lot of. Well, I'm not saying that really stupid like
Yeah.
liberals. I'm saying stupid like
Just
kids that are doing stupid crap. Okay?
yes, I get you.
And then everybody gets mad at me just because I'm so innocent. I don't do the same things that they do, you know. So they do like start to hate me, but I don't really care.
Yes, I
Is-
understand that.
And is there anybody watching the stream?
No, there's no one watching the stream. My channel.
Oh, YouTube.
It's
Oh.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's good to still have the conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
But, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I wasn't really gonna say anything.
Okay. Well, it's good to have your opinions challenged, and I feel a healthy debate like this. It brings the best out in people. Sometimes it brings the worst,
Yeah.
but you know that's people who don't want to change.
Right. And it's a lot of times, you know, to especially like, you know, for political, you know, two separate different, you know, political opinions in the same party. You know, that's really good for us to talk about that and debate, because we're able to see what we both believe in and why we believe in each parties and all that, and you know what we usually think about the other parties and what they do wrong and what they do. It's really actually healthy, yeah.
We lost objective Echo.
That's what I have to say.
Anybody on this topic?
My personal is, I think it's with the divide that we had. It can be very hard to discuss certain political with people's belief, and I think that's the big problem that we have, especially with Congress and the Senate with passing bills. People just aren't willing to bring things forward and have a civil conversation. I'll give you an example. My mom is the complete opposite belief system of me. She's very anti-religious, everything that I bring into account when it comes to talking about politics and stuff like that. And we got very into it, and it got to the point where I decided, you know, with her and her family, that I am no longer going to discuss any sort of politics. And you know, with one perspective of that is, you know, well, that's good because, you know, it's just talk, but at the same time, you know, you're not willing to even discuss a certain topic with someone. That sucks, because they're not willing to listen to what you have to believe in without coming at you on an offensive, more personal basis, because that's what my mother did. Even my mom. I mean, I was discussing politics, and I was keeping it clean. And on a personal basis of, oh, you're so brainwashed. Oh, I feel so bad for you. You know, like stupid shit like that. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. We're discussing this. Now, I will make a point that her only defense that I was brainwashed and she didn't actually answer any of my questions that I asked her, and a lot of people take that stance because they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking. But at the same time, even do know what they're talking about stance, just be that I'm right, you're wrong. And the reason that you are wrong is because you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
You know?
Right.
if I might add, Sensei wants into the party. Do you think we should let him?
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not. He's my game, but fucking.
Be advised.
He's a good dude, but
But
not for the
he's just not
Okay.
appropriate in this. Yeah, he's not appropriate in these situations.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We all know.
if there's any time you guys want to, because I do want some other people's opinions, you know, more people to talk about. But we might have him on for a later show. But can somebody message him and tell him that we're having a discussion,
Eating?
or a
You
meeting?
can just tell them it's Milson if you'd like.
No. So yeah, I'm eating this Hawaiian barbecue pizza, and it's super good.
Pineapple
Fuck
does
that,
not
that's
belong
really good.
on pizza.
Hmm?
Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
It always belongs on pizza.
Alright, let's have a debate about this then. Let's go.
No,
No,
no.
it's about food. It's personal preference.
I know
But-
deep down in my heart it's wrong.
All right. So here's the topic. This is one my friend brought up to me whenever I first started Milsom. Do you? A lot of people outside of Milsom disrespectful to simulate the military in such a fashion that we give ourselves ranks and to say that we have this training or use of the terminology is offensive to people who are in the armed service or who have been.
Yeah.
What are you guys' views on that?
I think it depends on what you're doing and how you are simulating it. I know there are some units that will take, you know, a name of a respected unit or organization, and with their actions they can tarnish it. I think they ride a very thin line of actually simulating a unit to the abilities and just saying, oh well, we're this, and then they don't even, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're not even respecting the military values and stuff.
you're at 129 minutes. Sorry, go
But
ahead.
I feel like it just depends on how much they abide by the, like, sure, you can't go every exact step of the way with doing it, but it's not like, it's just a different, sure, some people could be like, oh wow, they're trying to fake being in the military, you know, they don't want to go, they just hop on Battlefield 4, but it just depends on the person you ask, if anything. Like, sure, he may say that, but the other one said, another veteran might say, you know, it doesn't really matter. They do what they want, as long as they're not saying, oh, I'm in the Marine Corps, or I'm in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think it boils down to that.
Yeah.
As long as you don't, like, continuously, oh yeah, I'm in the military, so I'm pretty much in the military. You keep
Things
on
like that.
and say, I'm in a military, I'm not in the military. Good.
Yeah. So, that was a pretty quick topic. So, I'll bring up another one that, it recently happened. It was in the Black Lives Matter, and it was a, huh? Stop.
Said, oh god.
The Black Lives Matter came video, and I'm not sure if they affiliated, but they did bring up Black Lives Matter in it, and it was about cultural appropriation and how holidays on National Culture Day, which is apparently a thing where people throw theme parties of, you know, sombreros and Mexican type food. Hispanic type food, correct. But they'll have stuff like that, and then they'll have they won't dress in blackface, but they do have like just stereotypes, just racial stereotypes, and I don't think that's as prevalent as I imagined, but apparently they say it's a problem, and that it. What are you guys' views on cultural appropriation and
Okay.
appropriation and
As the who plans on going to the next Pride Parade, be an active member in Pride of a it's based on pricing it. I believe that that is a bunch of bogus, because the way to celebrate diversity is living and seeing the diversity is. That's what I personally believe. Like, saying, oh, Black Lives, for example, this is just my point of view, hate on me if you want, but I'm Black Matter. I want their culture and leave it to myself or anybody else with it. It kind of gets rid of the point of having a revolution like that. If I want to share gay culture, I want to do that. I want to, express pride culture, so I want to share it to other people. That's just my instincts. So what they're trying to gain by saying culture Culture Day is wrong. I don't understand. Who wants to understand the culture? They're gonna walk in its footsteps. Though I can see where they could be like some wearing, like all tribal outfits. They're from this culture. No, you have to be culture. Worship it. Be part of that culture. But it's good to, every...
Like when someone wearing a Indian or something like that.
Yeah, just... I'd say no, take that off, because that...
Oh, yeah.
That is extreme tribal stuff you don't want to be... that's like a chieftain would wear. But I remember also seeing this video a year or two ago about this girl going off on this guy who was wearing dreads and saying, you pale skin to wear those dreads, and he's like, what do you mean? And he said, and the girl said, well, you're appropriating my culture. I would expect you to not wear that hairstyle. And he said, well, isn't it kind of respecting your culture to wear it? And he said, no, you're tarnishing the culture. And it's just, and the guy would continuously walk away, but the girl would continuously follow him. And it's just like, it's just a bunch of BS, honestly.
Kind of to the table.
And it's just, I want my culture to be shared throughout a multitude of people. Feel intrigued about what pride is, or, Yeah. I wouldn't want to shun people from it. It's just my 2 cents. If anyone wants to about it.
Yeah, you've been going on quite a tantrum. I'm joking.
I believe, there's a certain part of sharing culture and people taking part in different people's culture, but there is still that identity. That's a big thing that we have right now, is that if we don't have an identity, we don't really have to our own. Like, you want to look at, like, that's a big thing with, like, especially with, like, the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that, and with a lot of getting rid of, I'll bring it up, because I can really think I'm in combat, but one of the big movies that I do follow on Instagram is the taking down of Confederate monuments. Stuff that have been in, like, state capitals and, monuments, flags, stuff like that have been a part of that state's identity since the state began. Stuff like, I want to say it's in Georgia, about where in the center of it, monument of General Lee, Robert Lee. And they took a bunch of up of it about it, saying, yeah, he was the leader of the Confederate Armed Forces, or the Confederate Army during the Civil War. I understand that, but he's a part of our identity. A lot of laws, a lot of and stuff like that were from people who owned slaves and fought for that side, but that doesn't mean that should be completely over. That's a big thing.
There's a big deal. They talk about it a lot. Is that a lot of people represent the culture in the states, because they weren't really fighting to keep slavery.
Slavery isn't the main reason why they were fighting.
They were fighting to keep their choice to, they want to get rid of it, but they don't want somebody else telling them, you have to get rid of that, or we'll go to war.
They were more or less fighting for their own ideas.
Exactly.
Somebody saying, you cannot do that.
Not necessarily. They
I
were
meant by
fighting
that,
for their saying what they believe.
I meant by that.
Wrong. Yeah, that's the whole. That was the main reason that people don't understand is the whole states' right thing. But that also goes along with, a racial identity. When you look at schools and stuff like that, I mean, they're taught that, Confederates were bad, and they fought for slavery, and that was it. They were all racists, and they lost. That's... Civil War isn't really even talked that much in history classes and stuff anymore, because it's such a sensitive topic that, people just cut their losses and they're like, we'll make them the bad guys and move on. That's pretty much it. And that goes along with the whole identity and stuff like that. It's even with like the Nazis, that with Germany in World War II, there were Nazi party members, but the German majority of them, they weren't Nazis. They were fighting for their homeland. They may have been doing some sketchy stuff, but that's their home. They're gonna stand up no matter what. If there's someone invading their country, they're gonna fight back.
I know you mean. Only 10% of the German population at the time when Hitler rose to power was an actual Nazi, like an acting member of the Nazi political group.
Regime.
Well, like, this is like when he first got to like chancellorship.
Yeah.
Not supreme dictator. But so, and people say, when I like, how did they get the power then? Well, he got through, like, he made the Waffen SS, and they were pretty much making people believe.
That's not entirely true, though.
Are you sure?
If you look,
Well,
he held his power by fear, but he did his power through fear. If you look at the history of Germany at that time, they were
He got
poor.
there through.
He got
there
United,
through earning their trust.
The League of Nations, well, not just, it was the League of Nations, the sanctions that they put on Germany after World War were so tremendous that they had no economy. I mean, you want to talk about like action and stuff like that? It was almost worse than what we had going on. Oh yes, like 60% of their population were in poverty. That's a lot. So what he was proposing, and that goes along with like the whole socialism aspect of it and stuff like that. His original ideals were, hey, we're poor. I want to do this stuff so that we can make money and get everybody back on track.
Yeah. It's, I say, like, at the point of, like, his chancellorship, that's when he started to use the fear. But beforehand, he was a pragmatic speaker the entire time. Like, he would speak in pubs or beer houses about getting back money from the rich, stealing their money, getting revenge in England and such, about, getting their money so that they can actually live lives and make their country grow. And in the beginning, there's nothing with that, but then Nazi regime, it's the killings of the minorities. They weren't exactly like the really bad, people. They just originally started out being the happy, they want to go, but then eventually it got to the point where they had to blame somebody for all their problems so people would continue with their ideals. So the minorities, the Jews, the gays, the lesbians, the really retarded, Yeah.
It just the different.
Disabled.
Different would be the word. Not disabled. Gay and lesbian. Not.
No, I said that as in a separation, like comma, disabled. But
Okay.
not
I
as
see
in
what
one.
you mean. I see what you mean. Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just the Nazi government. Like before, they were just an innocent, like not, they were just a group who planned trying to fix the country. Is there anything wrong with that?
Okay.
No.
I'm back, guys.
But then
we were
they
already-
took a hostile turn to it.
So
Well,
what
like
is the
killing all the 6 million Jews and.
Let's fill in on what's going on.
Yeah, we're talking about like national identity and
I'll be
like
right back.
holding moral stances with how you've been brought up and stuff like that, basically.
Yeah. Like, also, I hear a lot about currently that the Germans don't teach their new, children about the Holocaust because they're ashamed of it, which is completely false. They teach them about it. There's reasons concentration camps completely open, why they furnish it so it looks like how it was. They know about their past. They don't want it to happen again. So they teach children and grandchildren about it.
and
Yeah,
we're not like
that's
that,
the same.
like with
That's the same. Well, I mean, that's the same way with like how I was saying about the whole Civil War stuff. I mean, that's
yeah, and then and about the Indians, how we made them walk, Native Americans, how marching all that died, but yeah, but we still talk about that. We still teach our youth because we're not afraid of our past, we're
Yeah,
not
we are.
ashamed.
we are.
Yeah.
Oh
we
yeah.
are.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's yeah.
Oh shit, that sounds
That's
stupid.
why.
There, then.
That's why it's really isn't taught in schools. I mean, you don't learn shit about them back in the wars. And you ever look in depth about the fucking concentration camps that we were the fucking Japanese American? Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I mean, you learn about it, but you don't act. It doesn't reflect on what actually happened.
Yeah, it's just.
We should talk about.
At first was like, I don't mind them getting rid of Confederate, but then later on, I come to the conclusion, like, actually it's kind of a bad thing, because that's a pivotal point in our history. That is the bloodiest war on that the America has ever faced. So why would we get rid of some key figures from statues? General Lee, he was a great general. It's not like they're bad people for fighting for the rebellion. He was fighting for his own beliefs, and for that, I can, understand and respect. Why were you laughing at that loser?
If you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, majority of the time you do refer to it as the rebellion.
Yeah, that is true. What do you call it?
Confederate States, or the Confederacy. I like how people don't realize that we were originally a confederacy. The United States was.
Yeah, the Confederacy of the United States, wasn't it? Or is it called something else?
It was the United Confederate States of America.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
And
The
then
Rebel
wasn't it just
Alliance.
going to the United States of America?
Yeah, the first draft of the Constitution and the form of our government. I forget who wrote it, but it was originally it was a Confederate. It was the
Now, what
Confederate
does that
States
mean
Confederate
entitled?
Alliance. or
I've
something
never
like
really
that.
looked up the definition of what a confederacy is. Is it like a bunch of minor states?
It's the idea of states being more like nations rather than subdivisions of the federal government. So
Alrighty.
look at the Union and we'll look at the Confederacy. The Union is the federal government. It's the trickle down. The federal government is in charge to tell the states what to do. The Confederacy is the state government does, which I support more.
You guys,
You know, it's a smaller federal government and a larger, you know, larger states' rights.
Yeah.
sorry, 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna switch games. If it, I just want to. If it stops, I want to be able to